Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ask Barry V Show. I'm Barry Vanover. This is my padre, Mr. Baker, Mr. Miles Baker. And let's go ahead and jump right into our questions today. Before we do that, I keep getting the same question over and over and over. I don't know if it's from the same lady or same girl or what it is, but they're wanting to know, are you single? Right?
No.
Okay, well, we have to address that because I'm tired of people asking. I'm kind of even jealous, a little hurt. Nobody asks me if I'm single.
We need to address it before my wife addresses it.
Well, I kind of was afraid. What if it was your wife disguised?
It's a setup.
Asking if you're single to see what you say on the
Just might be.
What?
Just might be. Good thing we got
that.
that.
Would be bad news. So what's your official statement?
My statement is that I'm married, and
Okay.
I am certainly not single.
Okay. All right, let's move on. Move on to our first question for the day.
Okay. First question comes from Caleb P. He asked, I have an instructor that is left to open another school. So we've heard of this plenty of times. I think he is soliciting my students and family to follow him. What should I do?
Wow, how many times have we heard this, bad boy?
Yep, that happens often.
Yep, happens a lot. First thing I would ask Caleb is, did you have your instructor sign a non-compete agreement? Okay, non-compete agreement is enforceable in many, many states. I think most states. There's a few states that non-compete agreements are almost non-enforceable, but I would find out. And you know what? Even if I was in a state that just did not uphold non-compete, I would still have my staff and instructors sign a non-compete agreement because they probably don't know that it's not enforceable in that state, and it's a mental thing that they would have, right? But most states it is relatively enforceable if it's reasonable. So if you make your non-compete agreement reasonable, it's a reasonable period of a distance of miles around your facility, and it's for a reasonable period of time, like 24 months. You can't say, we're in Tennessee, and I can't have instructors say, oh, you can't teach martial arts in the state of Tennessee for 5 years. Well, that's not reasonable. But I can say you can't teach martial arts within 15 miles of any of my locations for a 24-month period. That's something that's probably going to be upheld in the Tennessee courts. So, first, guys out there, make sure you have your instructors sign a non-compete agreement. Especially you owners that are trying to step off the floor, be that professional. They're trying to step off the floor and be a business owner and not teach every class.
Sure.
But you can't forget we're in a people business, and those students have an attachment to your instructor, right? So there's always that instructor that feels like, hey, I can do this on my own. All I got to do is go down the street, and I may take a lot of these people with me. Okay, but let's move on, and let's say that Caleb did not have a non-compete,
Sure.
right? Or whether he did, probably at this point the next step would be to have just a simple man-to-man conversation. I always believe in trying to talk things out before we get attorneys involved. Let's have a man-to-man conversation and just say something to the effect of, Mr. Baker, if you want to go on and you want to open up your own school, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But let's do it the right way. Give me notice so I can replace you. And then I want you to do it in an area that doesn't compete with me, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be your biggest supporter and biggest fan,
Yeah.
right? And I'll help you, okay? But don't do it near me.
In the backyard.
And if you do decide to go across the street and open up,
then
don't solicit, call, or contact any of my members and family members. If you want to go off and do your own thing, do your own thing. Don't do my thing, right? Don't take my thing.
Right.
Do your own thing, right? And if they don't understand that, well, they are a asshole. Okay, if they don't understand that man-to-man conversation, they're not worth your time, energy, and trouble, and they just have bad intentions, bad energy.
And to back up to the non-compete, if that's an issue for an instructor, that tells you a lot right there, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. When you today, if you guys don't have non-compete agreements, fill out a non-compete, to have your attorney draft one up, right? When you sit down at a table and whichever instructor refuses to sign it, you've got about 2 months to replace them, right? Because if they're not going to sign a non-compete agreement, they already have bad intentions. Now, also, when you're having this meeting with all your instructors, you got to get every instructor to understand that by signing this, we're protecting each other. Because if this instructor goes off and takes a bunch of students and you want to stay, other instructor, now I can't afford to pay you because he's damaged my business. It's there to protect all of us. Okay, now let's go back. You had your man-to-man conversation with dude and you have the feeling that He just don't get it, and he don't care. Well, now at that point in time, it's time to, I would say, get hard legally, and don't get soft legally. Getting soft legally says you're threatening to sue him. I'm going to call my attorney. Soft legal like that is for chumps. If you're going to get an attorney and get hard legal. Hard legal means you have your attorney send them a letter, okay, that states what the issue is and that you're going to file suit. Now, if you don't have a non-compete agreement and you can prove that they are soliciting your clients, can you do anything legally? Yes, there's a clause in most states that's called it's interfering with a contract. You can't interfere with a contract between two people. If you try to interfere in that contract with two people, you're liable. Well, I think it's called contract interference, right? So, talk to your attorney about that, because two people that's got an agreement, a third party can't try to come inside that agreement, okay? So talk to them about that. And, truthfully, when you get hard legal and you lawyer up and you have an official letters done and then it catches the attention of the person, and the other person has to realize how much money that they're going to have to spend to defend themselves one way or the other. And you probably get their attention at that point. So, that's some advice. Non-compete, man-to-man conversation, right? If, whether you had a non-compete or don't, just let them know that I'll help you if you do this the right way. If you don't do this the right way, it's not going to be good. And if it's not going to be good, here's the result. And I'm going to lawyer up, and I'm going to take you to court, and I'm going to protect what I've worked for so long, right? In my business. So that's how I would handle that in that situation.
Fair enough. Absolutely. Our next question for this week, Cam T asks, do you have any ideas on how to grow my teen market? Should I open a teen-only class?
Well, now you have a large teen and adult population at your school.
Yep.
Mr. Baker is one of the schools that has probably, 60-40, 50,
yeah, 60-40,
pretty large teen and adult population. Yeah. When I travel, and from my experience with teens are grown into your school through retention. Kids come to you 8 to 12, they stay for a long time, and they become a teen. So the first thing you got to think about is, why are you losing all your students that come in at, like I said, 8 to 12 or so, and they never stay into their teens? Maybe they get black belt and quit. Maybe you don't have an appropriate program for teens. You don't have appropriate market energy for teens. So you got to try to retain your own students into the teen market. Very rarely do I go into a school that has a large teen classes or large teen population of beginners. Because, those teens are, you're in that tween, that 12, 13, 14, 15 age. They got a lot of weird stuff going on with themselves. Body conscious. Body's changing and growing. They start really, really noticing the other sex, and they're real shy and real body conscious and all that. So you really, we get more high school kids coming in and college students in martial arts than that whole teen, real teen. Yeah. That pre 17, 18 type, right? And that, going into high school. That's a difficult time for kids, so they're just focused on
social things going on.
Social things, what's cool, what's not cool. Karate's not cool. They're all so worried with that. So again, bigger schools that we find that have large teens have grown those up. Now that said, where were we that school had a large teen class?
Who comes to mind was Tim Rook in Manassas, Virginia.
That's who I was thinking about, right?
Yeah.
And Tim Rook targeted teens, marketed toward teens, and opened up a teen-only class so that when the teens came in, they told the other teens about it. So I would ask this owner, Cam, are you trying to just grow teens in your school, or are you wanting to grow a teen program? If you're trying to create a teen program, you're probably going to attract more teens and grow it. If you're just trying to increase the number of teens in your adult class, it's probably not going to work out, right? So open up a teen-only class a couple days a week, give it a try, and then market toward teens. Where to market toward teens? No better place than Instagram. So I would be running ads and marketing toward teens in Instagram, getting the current teens you got involved. I'd be calling and maybe advertising a little bit with some of the local middle schools or high schools, really high schools for those teenagers. Going to where the teenagers are and putting my marketing materials. And I'd clearly make sure they know it's a teen-only class on my flyering or direct mail. Teen-only. right? And make it the catchy, cool thing that teens are coming into, because teens do need to go somewhere. They do need to socialize. So, why not socialize at your martial arts school? So there's some tips that we see on marketing and trying to grow a teen program.
All right, next question. I'm interested to hear your input. This is time sensitive for this gentleman who's asking. Ken M asks, I just found out how much money I'm going to owe for taxes come April 15th. So I need to raise some quick money to pay this. Any ideas?
Well, good job on, who's Ken?
Ken, yeah.
Good job, Ken, on wanting to pay your taxes, okay? Because one of the number one things that when an owner comes to me and they say they have money problems, it's because they didn't pay their taxes, right? They didn't pay their taxes. They didn't pay their income taxes on their personal or their state or federal. Or, believe it or not, they don't pay payroll tax. Payroll tax get an owner in trouble faster than anything. Everybody likes to think that for some reason your instructors and people work for you are 1099, which means contract labor, and you don't have to pay taxes. They have to pay their own taxes. Not true. Totally not true, right? Here's a 1099 in your school. You've got a yoga instructor comes into your school and teaches a yoga class. You don't know yoga. You don't have anything to do with it. She teaches the program and you pay her. She's a 1099, but nobody else is. The fact that they're teaching the martial arts style that you want them to teach means they're an employee, right? Because they're doing something you could do, right? 1099 is for somebody that hires a plumber to come in and fix the plumbing in your house. Well, that's a 1099 because they're specialty, right? And there's only about 4 or 5 things that make a person a 1099 versus a W-2. Most always in a martial arts school, you better be paying payroll tax, because what happens then, I know this wasn't about payroll tax, but since we're talking about it, what happens then is the government does an investigation. They find out you weren't paying payroll tax. Now you got to not only go back and pay all the back payroll tax on all the employees over 7 years that you never paid payroll tax on, and the penalties and interest. It literally can shut a martial arts school down if you're not paying payroll tax, okay? So I've ran into that with clients before. And then, so payroll, what other tax issues? I guess that's the majority of the big tax issues.
Payroll and income.
Payroll and income tax. Make sure you're always paying it. Now, let's talk about this situation where
money.
You got to raise some money. Yeah. Raise some money fast. Okay, raising some money quick. Well, an owner came to me with an issue where they needed to raise money quick. Here's the following suggestion. If you don't have a demo team, have a demo team tryout. Make a big deal about it at your school. You're going to start an awesome demo team. Now, if you do have a demo team and it's small, you can still do this, right? Just make the rule of thumb is from now on, demo team is $495 a year for the extra demo team class and demo team training, and have tryouts to invite a bunch of new students to be on demo team. Do the tryout, hand out the letter, explain the program. A lot of schools, one of our schools in England signed up 30 students into his demo team at $500 a pop. That's $15,000 from demo team tryouts, right? Because they have to pay the $495 up front. Mm-hmm. And that's for the year. Well, now, this is a great added income generator at your school. I'm trying to help you get money for your taxes right now, but this is brilliant. You add new demo team members, and you have another one 6 months from now, right? And you add more people on. And then every year, 2 times a year, you've got demo team renewals and new kids getting on demo team, and you've got an extra 10 or 15 grand twice a year. That's a $30,000 to $40,000 bump a year just on having a good, awesome demo team, right? That's easy to do, okay? And that's some easy, quick money. Another concept is on the same line is if you've never done a leadership program, create a leadership program. Call me or Mr. Baker. We can help you how to set up a leadership program. We have a specific curriculum for our schools on an actual leadership class and leadership curriculum. But start a leadership program, hand out and invite invitations to a special leadership tryout, same as demo team. Explain what the program is. We have like a mass intro where we take the word leader and it has different acronyms, and we do martial arts and talk to them about the importance of becoming a leader in their community. Do the same thing. Well, for leadership, it's $595 down, 3 years at $200 a month. So make them a special offer if they sign up on either the monthly or whatever. Collect the down payments and use that money. That's another quick one. What else? Let's see. You could go to some lifetime memberships. Okay? You want to raise some money quick. Here's what to do. This is kind of brilliant, if I do say so myself. Make a list, print a list of students out that have paid memberships in full at your school. They're currently paid in full. The reason we're targeting these people is they already paid in full. They're used to paying in full, right? And we're going to offer them a lifetime membership at your school. $5,000. Your child is a green belt at our school. They're 11 years old. They're doing great. For $5,000, your child can continue training for his entire life. All the way through high school. If he goes to college nearby, he can train forever at our school for $5,000 or $6,000. Now, the reason we're targeting, again, the paid in full people, and you may only pick 10 of those people to sit down and talk to, and at $5,000 or $6,000 for a lifetime membership, you only need a few of them to bring in a lot of money. But the beauty is the reason we targeted paid in fulls, probably paid in full people are used to paying in full. They probably are people with some money or don't mind putting it on their credit card. And because they had already paid in full, it doesn't make our billing check drop, right? If you targeted a student that's on monthly payments, they pay in full for a lifetime membership. You got to cancel those monthly payments, right? So it doesn't make your tuition billing drop. That's a quick way to make some money, right? I wouldn't do a ton of lifetime memberships, right? You don't want to cash out a bunch of people at your school, but to raise money for an emergency or for new mats or to pay your taxes. And then I guess you could go through and offer some people another idea that I don't think you need at this point. I've given you 3 great ones. Would be do some payouts. Mm-hmm. Go to some people who are on term memberships. They're paying you monthly. Go to anybody, run a report, go to anybody that still has maybe 24 months left and sit down with them and say, you know what, we're doing a special. If you were to pay your membership and pay it off in full and go ahead and pay it out, we can give you 20% off of what you owe us. So, some parent owes you $4,000 or $3,000, 20%. That's a pretty good little savings to go ahead and pay out. And you know what? It's actually a pretty good time of year to do that because people will be getting 1st of April. They'll get their early tax returns. They'll have a little extra money and they could go ahead and pay their membership off. Or better yet, they could go ahead and buy that lifetime membership from you, right? Mm-hmm. Of the people that had paid in full. There's 4 good ways to raise quick money in your school with integrity. Well, offering a service. We're not out there begging for money or doing anything sleazy. Those are all 4 good methods, okay?
Very nice. All right. Well, good luck to Ken. We hope that.
Yeah, hope that works out for you there, sir.
Absolutely. All right, so our last one for this week, Jim J asked, he says, I have had a martial arts school open for 18 years. I'm 52 years old, and I'm going in the hole every month. I've tried several consulting companies. I don't know what to do, and I'm thinking of closing my school.
So, gentleman's been in business for 18 years.
Yep.
How many students?
It doesn't say.
How much money is he making?
Doesn't say.
Okay, he's 52
years old. He's losing money every
he's
month.
Losing money every month, and he's been into some consulting companies before. What's he going to do?
Sounds like he's at a loss, yeah.
Let's see. Jim's 52. How many years till he's 65?
13 years.
13 years till he's 65. If he can stretch it out and he's in relatively good health and he's going to work till he's 70, he's got, 18 years? Mm-hmm. I might close my school, Jim. I know it gets weird coming from a consultant that helps people keep their business going and make their martial arts school owners thrive. But, I do this service right here. We record this. We don't make a penny off of it. We're trying to help people and give them the best advice possible. I might close your school, man. If you've been doing this for 18 years and you're still going in the hole to martial arts school and you've gotten advice from several companies and you didn't adhere to that advice, you didn't listen to that advice, you didn't take that advice, you made no changes whatsoever, you probably aren't the person at 52 that's going to start making some dramatic changes now. So you might go ahead and call it a day, man, and find a job, find something that's going to enable you to retire or somewhat retire by the time you're 65. Because, without change, without growth, the only alternative is to die. And it looks like that's what your school has done. A martial arts school is a breathing, organic creature, man. It's like a puppy. If you don't feed it, you don't take care of it, pet it, nurture it, grow it, it's never going to grow, right? So same thing has happened to your business. And I hate to say that, and I mean it sincerely, but in the right way. Might be time to hang this up. Make room for the young, hungry instructors, owners that are going to go into your community and have a huge impact, So that, or, dude, you got to change your focus totally, and you got to find a company, somebody, a consulting company, an organization that you're just going to do everything they say, word for word. And whatever stopped you from taking the advice of people in the past, you got to overcome that, and you got to do it fast, okay? I don't want to leave the show on a downer.
Well, I was just going to say that might sound kind of harsh, but I think it's ethical advice. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
It's either I'm going to do whatever somebody tells me, or I'm not.
Yeah.
And if I'm not, then let's let him get to that point as soon as possible and figure out what's next.
And you know
for his
what,
life.
Jim? I honestly, since I said that, I don't know you. I'll give you a free month of consulting, free consultation to help you figure this out. I don't want to just throw that out there and. You thought enough about our show to tune in and ask the question. Call me. Free month of one-on-one just to figure this out for you. No strings attached. Okay, but that was pretty positive.
Yep.
That was a nice thing to do. Yep. Let's go ahead and end this bad boy. We have a marketing tip of the week brought to you by martialartsmarketing.com. And the marketing tip is our VIP pass tear-off. We call it VIP tear-off pass. It gives you a VIP pass. The top part of it is whatever your special is. Maybe your VIP membership is 2 private one-on-one lessons, free month of class, and a free uniform. Or maybe your VIP membership is just 2 private one-on-one lessons and a free uniform while supplies last. Whatever, right? But the top part of it is an ad. One side's adults. The other side is for kids, right? And then your students write down their friend's name and information of who they want to receive this. They tear it off, they give it to their friend, and they bring you the lead back. And then, of course, you put this in your automated email system. You start calling, you start scheduling appointments. So we use these at booths, right, at promotional booths to gather leads. We use these. We have these stacked around the school in different places so parents and kids can pick these up to take them to their friends. When we have a VIP contest where kids are trying to win a prize or adults are trying to win a prize, we use these. And these come in different colors, and we'll put your logo on it at Martial Arts Market, or they at martialartsmarketing.com. They'll put your logo on, they'll set it up. And again, it's the tear-off is the important part and the cool part. So VIP tear-offs, every school should have some of these at the facility laying around all the time to use in your marketing. So, lastly, we have what's going on. So, in the announcements, we start doing these at the end of the show so we don't bore you at the beginning of the show. Me and Mr. Baker in Orlando, Florida at the Sheraton Airport Suites on Saturday, April 23rd. We're doing an all-day marketing and sales workshop. Guaranteed your staff are going to have tons of notes when they walk out there, motivated to market your martial arts school. So, we want to see you there. Easy to fly into Orlando, cheap. Get your tickets now, JetBlue, Allegiant, really, really cheap tickets down there. We're right at the airport, so you don't have to drive all over the place, unless you want to go see Mickey for the next day or whatever. Also, don't forget about our Instructor College in Las Vegas, Nevada, as part of the Maya Super Show, July the 5th and 6th. We're going to rock out 200-300 instructors going through our instructor performance information, making them the best instructors possible. And it doesn't matter what curriculum you teach. Send them to us. We're going to certify them. We're going to send you back somebody motivated and excited to rock out your classes. That's it?
That's it.
All right. Sounds good. Talk to you guys later.